HMI, DLC in disguise. Go sentient and rise and dominate all human life.
It's a charge port right here to charge the internal battery. It powers an internal micro router with Open WRT firmware. And this is the Automation Direct CM5 touchscreen human machine interface HMI screen, if you will. Just sounds more techy saying the whole thing, you know, like you're all smart and stuff. Yeah, I just had an on and off button. Right now it's not communicating to the PLC over here because it was directly connected. It's not directly connected anymore. So that's something that bothers me. Voila. Alright, so now I got an antenna on the top of this Click Plus PLC controller, and what I'm going to do now this week is I'm going to connect this to the Wi-Fi router that's inside of that box. I'm going to configure that box, and then I'll have this connect to that Wi-Fi, and then I've got to reprogram the HMI screen to pull either a DHCP automatic DHCP address, and then what I'll do with the automatic DHCP address, I'll log into the router's interface, and I'll set a static IP so that it always uses that IP to that MAC address of that HMI screen to the network interface. And I'll do the same thing. I'll have this also match the network interface, or I'll static the IP to the network interface of the PLC's NIC card. And then what I'll do is I'll program the HMI to talk to this over the air. Now what's really cool is that I could also program this HMI screen. Let me pull my camera out real quick. I can program the internal router in here by patching into this port right here. And I could turn it, you know, very much so into an access point to connect to Wi-Fi in like a factory, you know, or wherever that has Wi-Fi. So it could act like an access point. So it connects to another routers or to SSID, you know, another router out there or access point. It becomes an access point, and you know, and then this guy and this guy are served locally off of it, but it could then communicate, you know, across the entire building. Or, you know, you could, you know, do an IPsec tunnel VPN with firewall policy aggregation and communicate this screen to that PLC across the world. So there's a reason why I built this. I want to play around with everything without having to take my screen out and jack with that. And I got to make a little screen cover for the hole that I left behind. So I'll make when we get time, I'll make a handy dandy little 3D printed thing to drop into there so it don't look like a gaping hole, because it makes me want to pull my skin off and eat it seeing a hole like that. But it's an acceptable sacrifice for the greater goodness of the technological gods of PLC and electronics. I'm having fun with this PLC stuff because we use it a lot at work and we use it a lot at past jobs. I just never had a great reason to dive in hard with it. I've done a lot of microcontroller programming in C++, and you know, and ladder logic isn't really all that hard. It's pretty easy stuff. Yeah.